You're listening to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a business coach for online health coaches who want to attract their ideal clients, stop feeling defeated by their never-ending to-do list, balance a healthy lifestyle with their growing business, and stop overanalyzing what everybody thinks of them so that they can confidently own their message and online presence. On this podcast, we dive deep into health information you can share with your clients, business strategy tips, and more. Let's get to it. Guess what? I have a new training for you. It is my free Overwhelm Masterclass and cheat sheet. And when you leave a written review on iTunes on the Health Coach Nation podcast and you email info@haileyrowe.com with the subject line podcast review and a screenshot of your review, I will email you the free Overwhelm Masterclass and Overwhelm cheat sheet. So I cannot wait to share it with you, and thank you so much for being a listener on this podcast, sharing your valuable time with me, and now let's get into the episode. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and today we are going to talk about time management yet again, because this is our time management series that has been going on now for 2 weeks. Last Tuesday, I did a video on my Facebook page sharing with you some tips about why you procrastinate, what that really means, and how to kind of start working through that and your time management mindset. And today we're going to talk about actually planning your week. And I'm coming at you from the car today because you know what? That is just what you got to do sometimes to get your lives done. So we're going to talk about how to properly plan your week. And there is no rules. You can do it your way, but I'm going to share with you a way that really has worked for myself and a lot of my clients who work full-time jobs and they're trying to grow their coaching business. A lot of times they are trying to shift into their coaching career full-time, and they have kids and they got work and they have a lot going on. And so we're going to talk about how to actually plan and what that looks like and that kind of thing. So if you're here with me live, comment me below. And if you're watching the replay, comment replay. So let's get into it. And before we do, I want to remind you, I'll put a link to my free Overwhelm Masterclass below. And when you sign up for the Overwhelm Masterclass, what that also does is it puts you on the wait list for my brand new course coming out. It's in test mode right now. Some people are getting to try it out at a huge discount, which is super exciting. But it's coming out in May officially and summer. And it's going to be really helping you book more clients, get more traffic, more people seeing your stuff, more online visibility, and closing more clients, overcoming the common objections and concerns from your ideal clients. So if you want to know more about that and you want to be on the wait list, comment waitlist below and sign up on the Overwhelm Masterclass page. Now, here is what we're going to be going over. Planning. Here we go. Let's get back to it. So here's what to do if you want to plan your week, and then we'll talk about how to stick to it and some tips around that too. If you currently, how many of you guys use a planner, or what do you use? Do you use your phone? Do you use a planner? Do you use Google Calendar? What do you use? For me, I have shifted from planners to all phone to Google Calendar only, and I've just been all over the place. What I found that works the best, here's the things to keep in mind. Number one, it needs to be simple. You need to easily be able to access your plan every week, whether or not you have Wi-Fi, pretty easily, no complicated spreadsheets, nothing extreme like that, okay? The second thing is you got to be able to keep your weekly plan together, and then have a bigger list that's more of like things that are not urgent right now. You do not need to do them this week, because when they just sit in your head, it's going to be really hard to keep track of everything, right? So here's the deal. Here's what we do. On a Sunday, and you guys can start this anytime. You don't need to wait until Sunday. Write down everything you need to do over the week. Okay, write down everything you need to do over the week and any other things that come up that maybe need to be done, but they don't need to be done this week. You can create a separate list for that and call it someday, your someday list, okay? So you're going to have your this week, like stuff that has to happen this week, including whether like everything, your business stuff, your meal prep stuff, your personal care stuff, your friends and family, your meetings, your work, everything, okay? Events you got to go to, etc. You're going to write it all down. You're going to look at it, and you're going to also have your someday list, okay? If anything on your this week list can be moved to the someday list or isn't absolutely essential for this week, you can decide if you want to move it to the someday list once you're looking and you're able to say, is this realistic? Can I do all this week? And then what I want you to do now that you have everything, so comment below if you're going to actually do this. Comment me below if you're going to do this exercise. Once you have everything down on a piece of paper and you have it down, all the stuff I have to do this week, then what you can do is have a look at it and say, okay, what are these tasks broken down into 20-minute projects yet? Because sometimes what happens is you'll write down all the things you have to do this week, and you'll realize that they're huge projects, meaning like launch my website. There's a ton of little subcategories within that one project that you got to break down. So break down the, I'm getting some notifications. It's distracting. Okay. So break down everything you need to do this week. Then go ahead and look at your this week list. See, are they 20-minute bite-sized tasks? And if not, break them down even more. Then look at the list and say, star what's top priority. Star what's like going to have major consequences if you don't do it. Outside of the stuff that you just have to schedule in your calendar, like fully, like schedule, like stuff that you just have to show up to. Okay. So in addition to that, you have to star the top priority things. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the top priority personal tasks. You're going to have the things that you have to just schedule in because you have to do them, and then you're going to have everything else that's kind of on your list, kind of needs to be done this week, etc. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to block out, open up Google Calendars or whatever you use as your daily planner or time batching, and we're going to actually plan in the calendar the tasks that you need to have. Okay, so you're going to have, for example, you could plan the next day or 2 days out, whatever, and block out what needs to be done that was top priority on your list and what needs to be done that was already scheduled for those days. Okay, so you're time blocking. And the key thing to remember too with time blocking is you want to consider yourself and your own energy and like when you do things best, meaning if you do if you like to do your discovery calls or your coaching calls or your coaching days in bulk, plan that out, or make sure that that's all together. If you know that you do your creative work best in the morning, try to block that out as well. Okay, so you're trying to work with your energy, you're working with your time blocking, you're working with your list of what has to be done that week, you're working with your goals as well. So don't forget, when you guys are writing down your list of everything that has to be done this week, before you can properly do that, you have to know your goals, where you're heading in your business, what your strategy is. So if you don't have that piece, and if that's where you're stuck, go ahead and comment goals, I need help below, and we can talk about that, because that's really key. Sometimes you're just giving yourself busy work and it's not even aligned with like moving you actually forward. Okay, so you're going to block out everything. You got that going. It's all good. And then the next thing that's really important is to time block your day and then stick to it and start catching yourself when you are distracted, and also start paying attention to how long things actually take you. So if you have never done a time audit on yourself and used the app called Toggle to time yourself for everything, try it out and see how long things actually take you, because the worst thing that happens sometimes with time batching is you don't actually realize how long something's going to take you, or you give yourself too long and you're just dilly-dallying, or you're getting distracted, and so it ends up taking longer, and you don't properly work that into the plan. You don't give yourself buffer room, and that kind of thing. So use the Toggle app to know how long things actually take you if you are concerned about time batching, because again, you don't know how long things actually take you. So those are some of my tips to plan your week. And when it comes to sticking to it, I can tell you one of the best changes I've made to stick to my morning, my plan is morning ritual, and not looking at my phone first thing in the morning, or only looking at it for a very, very short time to just check for any emergencies, and then getting off and going straight into my morning ritual where I'm time blocking my day. Sometimes it's ideal to do it the night before, because then your brain gets to work on actually like knowing what you're going to do tomorrow and when you go to sleep, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that is one of the things I would say. If you want to stick to your time plan and your game plan for the week, give yourself that time in the morning to plan, to have set your intentions for the day, to remind yourself of your goals and your whys for this plan. That's going to be really, really important. And when you don't stick to it, let's say that things took longer or something didn't happen or whatever, you can just batch your next day. So you move your Google Calendar block for something to the next day. Don't make that a habit. Ask yourself, what happened here? How did I misjudge what I can do? Because this is the other thing. Sometimes we overcommit ourselves to so many things, and we don't even get to the important things. So you want to make sure you prioritize accordingly. But you can move your time blocks around if you need to. So what questions do you guys have? And I have so much more that I could say about this, but I have a lot of things I gotta have a look at, and I gotta get on the road soon. So let me know if you have any questions, and we will continue this time management series as the weeks go on, as the days go on. On Friday this week, I have I have 2 podcast interviews that I'll be doing live on my Facebook page that you can feel free to join. One is at 10 a.m. Central Time, and one's later in the afternoon. I can't remember when. So lots of fun stuff going on. And I just announced a little competition if you leave a podcast review where you can get a hot seat coaching session with me on the podcast. So if you leave a written review on iTunes for the Health Coach Nation podcast, you could be entered to win that. And I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm off. I will talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. And thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Be sure to get your free gift over at HaileyRowe.com by joining my email list. And remember, you can always connect with me and other health coaches in the Health Coach Nation free Facebook group, where I post trainings and videos on how to take your health coaching business to the next level. Can't wait to connect with you. Have an awesome day.